Yes, sir. What's going on, everybody? What is going on, everybody? Welcome, yeah, to the Big Time Show podcast that is being seen and heard live. What is that? Good Lord. That is my Y'all forgive me, but that's one of these phones that's going off in here that good mind. That's live TV. Okay. Oh, excuse me, live streaming. How y'all doing? What's going on? I am being seen and heard live on the Podbean and being heard live also on um, the Spotlight Sports Network, the two homes of the Big Time Show podcast. I am being seen live on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter. What's going on, everybody? I hope that you would help your boy out and share, if you don't mind, on this Freestyle Saturday. Freestyle Saturday, where we are going to just talk cowboy talk today. Whatever you want to talk about, cowboy related, we'll try to accommodate you. I got a few things in my mind that I just want to throw out there. And the rest of the show, you guys will take over, and I will kind of let you guys kind of produce the show today, because we are getting extremely close to what a lot of you guys are looking forward to, and that is the NFL draft, where as for us, it is a major part because we ain't signing no real free agents. So, y'all know that by now, right? I think that is just about over with. The only free agents that we will be signing are the free agents after the draft. And usually those are camp bodies and, special team players. So the draft is very important to a lot of Cowboy fans. It's important, period. No question about it. Your team has to keep moving, getting younger. Hopefully, in the draft, you will find some guys that can contribute to your team rather early and become a factor in our play this year. How about it? I've had a very productive day so far before we get started. The reason I'm not looking at y'all and the reason why I can't see no comments because I'm steadily sharing to all these groups that I'm in. And hopefully we can get a larger audience in the building. I'm almost through. Forgive me for not looking at you. But I've had a tremendous day so far. It started out with my son, who had his soccer game today. This will be his fourth game, I believe. He had 2 goals and 1 assist. I was happy about the assist because it was so sweet. When you got a 7 or 8-year-old kid, all they concerned about is just kicking the ball. They don't know where they kicking. They're not looking. They just looking down and just trying to kick the ball anywhere. He's a little more advanced, and he was down on maybe close to the corner. Not quite a corner kick, but he was there and shocked everybody. He saw his teammate streaking going toward the center of the goal. And I kid you not, he looked and saw his teammate there. It was almost kind of like a 2-on-2. And he passed it, perfect pass. And it was a one-time. As soon as his teammate caught it, he yammed that thing on in there. And I was like, whoa. Oh, okay. I said, okay. We got a little magic here. All right. A little magic. So I was extremely excited about that. And then, of course, he scored. So I was happy about that. All right, let's say hello to everybody. It's Ties in the building. Hey, Miss Alicia, I see you. Cowboy Jay, what's going on, brother? All right, what's going on Podbean? Okay, Heather. Okay, Marinata. They going. Yeah, Trey got loose. Miss Ty, he got loose today. So far, I believe he has 4 goals on the season. I think he scored except in one game, and then everything else he has. Um, he scored in every game. That was his first assist. So that was I was hype about that. I really was. I was hype about that. I was. So what's going on, Cowboy J? You ready? Are you ready, Cowboy J? Because a lot of people are banking on this draft again, as we always do. Well, don't worry about that. Let me turn that down. What's going on, Coach Breed Love? Coach Breed Love in the house. I see you. Hey, Carmen. Carmen's in the house. I don't know if you still here, but hey, Carmen, what's going on? Let me say this, and I guess this is where we'll start from. Um, First things first. How about this? By now, everybody's heard about the tragedy of Dwayne Haskins, who died this morning in a car wreck in Florida. If you don't know who, excuse me, Dwayne Haskins is, he's the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. If you remember, he was drafted by the Washington, whatever they are, commanders or commandos, whatever they are. A couple years ago, got traded to Pittsburgh. If you really know anything about football, he was drafted by, um, not drafted by, but he played at Ohio State. Uh, Most of everybody knows 25 years old, young man, tragically taken away from a car accident, and very sad. Young man just got married. Just got married. A mother lost their son. He had siblings. They lost their brother. He was in Florida preparing for the season with a lot of his teammates who play with the Steelers. Um, you know, just sad all the way around. And heart goes out to that family. Mother lost their son today. So that's unfortunately, it's really nothing you can say. You know what I'm saying? It's really a flat out tragedy. It's no other way to say. It's nothing you can say really about. I see my best friend and popped in. Eddie Woods is here. Uh, Appreciate you popping in, partner. But it's that's gonna be a hard one. You can't. As a minister or a preacher as myself, I mean, what can you say to them? I mean, it's so hard to, sometimes you just need to just be quiet and just be there. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing you can say. Nobody don't want to hear no Bible scriptures. Come on now. The man just died this morning. So nobody don't want to hear no Bible scriptures. Nobody don't want to hear no, uh, really encouraging words. The wound is so fresh. Uh, it really is a faith type of situation for if anyone on here has lost loved ones tragically, or you really don't have to lose it tragically, you can just lose somebody. And when it just happens, it's nothing really nobody has to say. You really do have to go through that period of grieving and grief. It's human. It's rare unless many people, if they know their sibling is, or not sibling, but any person in their family is dying or they're older, you know it, but it's nothing like the moment. You know what I'm saying? You can see it, but it's nothing like the moment. And that's when you know it's going down. But when you hear something like this, uh, it sends shockwaves through the family, and, the NFL as a whole. Uh, people, Ohio State obviously will be affected. But most importantly, my God, the man just got married. I mean, he just got married. So imagine the pain that his newlywed wife is going through right now. I mean, unbelievable. Uh, so we're praying for exactly, Joe. It really is a tragic, horrible um, death, no doubt about that. So we're praying for the peace. We're praying for the strength of the Haskin family, his wife. Um, I'm not aware if he had children or not. I don't know that. I don't know, but however way you look at it, it is a very sad, 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 sad situation. No doubt about that. So hey, Newton Hyde, how you doing on Podbean? Thank you for popping in. So it's a sad situation, but uh, we do know God. If you believe in God, He heals. That's one of His characteristics, and I'm quite sure they will be depending on that characteristic. So if you believe in the power of prayer, why don't you guys send a prayer to the Haskin family? Everybody involved, just keep them in your prayers when you pray to God tonight, and hey, pray for their strength. That's it. All right. I started the show off that way. I thought I would have been irresponsible if I didn't say something about that. It's really sad. All right. All right. Let's talk Cowboy stuff real quick. This is the time where most of the Cowboy fans get really excited because a lot of Cowboy fans are armchair scouts. You know what I'm saying? Armchair scouts where they think they know more than the scouting department of their team. Cowboy fans really believe we know. We know who we would like on our team. We know who the stars are, who the leading candidates are for our pick at 24. Or the need, however, if you ask Cowboy fans, they're going to be different. Some say we need offensive line. Some say we need a wide receiver. Some say we need, some say we need linebacker. It just varies depending on who you're asking, and everybody has them. Me personally, I think we need all of them. but you can only pick one at 24 and then so on in the next rounds and all that kind of stuff. So the major question is, what are we going to do at 24? Are we on the tip of best player available? That's what they did when they got CD Lamb. If you listen to them, that's what they did when they got Michael Parsons last year. So it's obvious to me that the history shows that we will grab probably the best player available at 24, regardless of the position. So if that be the case, we could be getting another cornerback because they just very well may be high on the board if they're there. So I think we need to condition our minds toward whatever you think we need to get. It might be a possibility that we won't be going to get that person because they simply very well may not be rated that high on the board. Uh, Not your board, not not your board, the Dallas Cowboy board. And please understand The Dallas Cowboy board is quite different than our boards. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our minds geared for that uh, rather quickly on that. Now, however, I will say this to you guys today that I feel like this is maybe the only bright spot, or maybe one of the biggest bright spots that we will have um, this off season. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because this is the time where we usually don't do too bad, or we rarely just kill it because we have drafted well over the years. It's no question about that. We have drafted very well over the years, no question. And I'm going. I mean, I don't care what year you go to. Uh, we have drafted very, 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 very well. Hey, Pi, I see you done popped in. Hey, Pi, what's going on? We have drafted extremely well, and that credit, and this is what I'm starting off with. That credit belongs primarily to Will McClay, uh, the unknown, untalked about MVP of our team. There's no question about that at all to me. Will McClay is dynamic. Will McClay is super, 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 super great at his job. I think I gave all them superlatives perfectly. You know what? I just thought about it. I just heard something. It's too dry to me. I'm used to hearing some music. Y'all forgive me for that. I knew it was something I was missing. Let me get this going, cause get this. Yeah, I'm sorry. I knew it was something I was missing. It's just a little too dry. Maybe. What's up, Chad? What's going on? I see you. Maybe it was the Dwayne when I had to talk about Haskins starting off. I had to. Maybe that it just put a cloud over the place. You know, it's a sad situation, man, for real. Um, but we're here. All right. Now, Will McClay, y'all. Will McClay is the MVP of this team. You won't hear his name. He don't do interviews. I mean, he probably could walk around Dallas and nobody bother him. That's how quiet and how reclusive. I mean, he can live a regular life like us. You didn't get a notification, Terry? I don't know why. You got that bell popped on? Okay, yours, Cowboy, Scott Gill, and Cameron Hayward, man, about Haskins' death. Oh, I'm not aware of that, Chad. Chad says that Gill Brandt, I believe that's who he's talking about, made Cameron Hayward mad about the Haskins death. Well, it's so fresh, it's a touchy situation. So right now, anybody could say anything wrong, or at least what they perceive to be wrong, and it's going to be a problem. So I'm not aware, Chad, of what was said or what was, anything. I don't know. So thanks for the information, though. You're going to make me go do some research and look up something real quick and see what's going to be said there, or what has been said. So I'm sorry I can't speak to that, but I don't want to start putting anything out that I don't know about. So I'll peep into that. But back to Will McClay. McClay, listen, as I was saying, he can go eat dinner in Dallas and nobody gonna bother him because not too many people really know him at all. What's going on? Oh yeah, Coach. I may have to peep go back in my Coach Price in the house. Coach, you may have to go to my page and just pull it back and look at it. I had plenty to say. Listen, I had plenty to say for me and you both. I promise you. I'm talking about the Lakers. It was and I didn't say this, but I know I've been having some LeBron James fan. I know we're talking Cowboys, but since Coach made me think about it, what irritated me the most, man? Because, see, when you say Lakers, I'm thinking about the greats that we've had, and I kind of know what they would do because I've seen it. There's no way with the game and the season on the line, Kobe Bryant would have been on the sideline in street clothes. No way. Magic Johnson would not have been in street clothes when you could, if you just got 75%, they were gonna play. Braun looking like he about to audition for a movie somewhere. That's all. I seen Kobe play with a separated shoulder and fingers hanging and leg messed up and all that kind of stuff. And it just bothers me. And we know now that LeBron has been ruled out for the rest of the season, of course, because they ain't got nothing to play for. He happy just was going, you seen the little tweet today, got 30, averaging 30 a game, and I'm not knocking his play because he played outstanding this year. No doubt about that. But it just hurt me, man. Like the season on the line, Doc. You got to play, man. I mean, come on now. You could play because you warming up. You got to give me your. If all you got is 75%, you got to give me your 75. You ain't hurting that bad. You just. Whew. Anyway, all right. Back to Will McClay. Back to Will McClay. Will McClay. This is where he shines. This is the time of the year where he and this amazing scouting department that we have shine. This is the time of the year where Cowboy fans can go ahead and smile a little bit because the draft, the scouting department have done their job. They know exactly what they're looking for. They already pretty much have a board by now that is already set up. They have their eyes on a few certain players that is not going to take long, that if they're there when the time for them to pick comes, it's not going to take long for them to turn their card in because they are that thorough in the scouting department. Will McClay is the one. He is the leader and has been. As a matter of fact, you want to go with his title, he's the vice president of player personnel. However, if you know anything about the Dallas Cowboys, there are a lot of people that will say that he is somewhat the general manager of the Dallas Cowboys because Jerry Jones is not looking at no game film in comparison to Will McClay in that scouting department. Stephen Jones is not looking at all that game film when it comes to picking players. They're not spending hundreds and hundreds of hours. They got too much other stuff to do. Now they may play the role like they do. It's kind of like Jerry Jones has the title of being the general manager. Well, the truth of the matter is that there's a lot of people that are sharing in some of that responsibility that he has as the general manager. Jerry just takes all the credit and the hype. But the one that's behind the scenes, the one that's doing the real work, that belongs to Will McClay. It's no doubt about that. All you got to do is, and they're paying him. Nobody knows what he's actually getting paid, but they have held on to him. Will McClay has been sought after as a general manager for other teams, but he always ends up staying with the Dallas Cowboys because every time somebody comes after him, the Cowboys go ahead and put a little bit more money on him because they don't want him to leave, because everyone knows that this guy is a pure asset to this organization. If you don't know about Will McClay, you probably need to Google him up and start looking at. But I can just give you a few things. Number one, I did not know that he was born right here in my home city, where I'm at right now. That's Memphis, Tennessee. I didn't know he was right, come from Memphis. I didn't know. I just found that out today. I didn't know he's from Memphis. I'm gonna go ahead and reach for the stars. I'm gonna try to get his email address and see if it help a young guy like me out, at least in the podcast world. A young guy. I'm trying to use every advantage. Come on, let's go home, boy. let's give me about 10 minutes of your time. We shoot you the link and let's talk real quick. I would love to talk to Will McClay. I love the brother. He is outstanding at his job. I would love to know, I got a feeling I know, but when you look at the players that he has scouted and suggested to Jerry and Steven, my God, it's a list of Pro Bowlers and all pros. I mean, he ain't just started. This has been going on since, I believe, 2011. So, I mean, he brought Romo to us. Technically speaking, he suggested Romo. Even Romo was not even drafted. He was undrafted. It was McClay pushing those buttons. I mean, you just keep on going down the list. Yeah. I see you, Coach. John Morant from South Carolina, no doubt. Yeah, we glad to have him here in Memphis, even though I'm a Laker fan, but I like the Grizzlies. That's another whole conversation within itself about how Memphis is feeling right now about the Grizzlies now, who are the second seed in the Western Conference. So I would love Will, man. Will has done an outstanding job. When you look at all these guys, man, look at all pros that he's responsible of saying, look, we need to draft this guy. This is what the scouting report says. I mean, good God, that whole offensive line, Will McClay got his hand on. The line before that with Travis Frederick and when we had a dominant line, Will McClay, Tyron Smith, all these guys. Will McClay's handprint is on that. Everybody, Dak Prescott, Zeke Elliott. I mean, everybody now. Will McClay is had his hand on there. Randy Gregory, Lawrence, obviously Parsons, Diggs. I mean, whoever you want to point out, Will McClay and that staff, the scouting department staff, has done an outstanding job. And because of that, you guys and myself can get excited about these guys that will be coming in, because you know that the scouting department has done their homework, and based off the past, we can trust Will McClay. We can. Now, we can't trust Steven. We can't trust Jerry, Will. Exactly, Coach. I just brought that up by Romo, who was undrafted. Just say the same. This guy knows what he's doing. When you go back and Google him and you look at the jobs that he's had prior to the Cowboys, just in case you don't know, Jerry Jones owns the Arena League. I believe it's the Dallas Desperados. Well, Will was a coach there for years, learned about the game from arena position and learned how to throw the ball, learned, in the tight spot like the Arena League is, know how to run, how to run a team. He was scouting for that group. He elevated himself, or at least Jerry elevated him to come to the Cowboys and pretty much do some of the same things. Now he's elevated to the point where he's vice president of player personnel, which is Steven, of course, is the president of player personnel. But he's not doing the work that Will McClay is. He's just not. He's not doing all that game watching and scouting and all that kind of stuff. He's not putting Steven is not putting the board together. It's Will. It's Will and his guys in the scouting department. It's not Jerry Jones. He is outstanding. And you know that just by who's been drafted up for these last 10 to 11 years. All you got to look, it's a who's who. One thing about the Cowboys, we ain't winning playoff games. We ain't winning no Super Bowl. But what we are doing, we send a whole bunch of guys to the Pro Bowl. Though. We do that. Oh, we're excellent at that now. Oh, we'll fill out the whole NFC roster if you let us. We send the old guys out. We do that. So if you just go with Pro Bowl appearances for the last, let's say, 10 to 12 years, you won't be shocked. You'll be surprised who pretty much is at the top or close to it. It's Dallas Cowboys. And Will McClay has done an outstanding job. And because of that, I expect the same thing. So, just in case you hear a name with the 24th pick that you not aware of, or you'll be saying, why did we pick a cornerback when we knew we needed an offensive lineman? Don't do that. Because the Cowboys have showed you that they will go best player available. And if the best player available is a cornerback, you can rest assured that's what's going to happen. It's going to happen. So let's kind of let Will do his job. Can I just go and put it like this? In Will, I trust. About that. In Will McClay, I trust. I trust him. Now after that, then that's where my question marks, belong. When would Will do his job, now it fall into the hands of McCarthy and contracts and all that kind of stuff, contract signing. That's when I have to say, Lord, here we go. Here comes Steven. Here come Jerry. Here come Coach McCarthy. Here come Kellen Moore. See, Will McClay is not that problem. Did you also know about Will McClay that he's a hands-on guy? Did you know that Will McClay does not miss a practice and is on the field with the player? Actually, an impromptu coach, which he can do because he is a football coach. Guys know that the players have, I've read about that he's on the field every practice. Barring inch sickness or something like that. This guy is not only in the front office, but he's on the field, practicing with those guys, helping the guys, all that kind of stuff. I mean, this dude is really a pure asset, as I said earlier, to this team. So this is his time. I believe we're going to be all right. I believe we're going to be all right with Will doing his job. I really do. And I implore all of you that if you do not know much about Will McClay, you need to just Google him and see what he actually does on this team. It's amazing once you look at it. So check that out. That's what I got to say about him. So I believe that this is our time where we can relax just a little bit. We've been killed with this off season or lack of off season or adding people. This is a time where we'll shine pretty good. I do believe that. Now, the other thing that happened this week, and you guys are running the show, so whatever you guys are putting in the comment box, you guys can go ahead and write that down. This is Freestyle Saturday. Everybody's talking about, I need to calm some of y'all down because everybody's talking about this fullback that we signed from Chicago, and everybody going completely crazy. With some Cowboy fans are, and everybody saying, "What we need a fullback for?" You know, well, y'all calm down. If you've done your research on the young man, there you go. There go Joe saying it. If you've done your research on it, you will see that the fullback that we have has played over 65% of his career on special teams. That's what he's known for, special teams, not being the fullback. It's just another position that he can play. But what he is an excellent special teams player. See, we so concentrated on what McCarthy and what Kellen Moore need to do and what Dan Quinn need to do. Nobody has said, okay, what does Bones want? Bones is our special teams coach, Coach Fossil. And I mean, like, he wants some guys too. No? And what he did is find out his reputation is that he's one of the better special team players in the league. That's what we signed. It's not per se about a fullback, because if you know anything about the Cowboys rarely use a fullback. We don't run a lot of I formation, and we don't run a lot of split formation. We don't use the fullback. We don't feature the fullback a whole lot. We should, especially if we got an athletic one like we have with Semi, who's coming off injury, who can catch the football and flat out run. So I kind of wish we, I didn't have a problem with the signing at all if it makes the team better. And adding the guy this week, at least in one area, makes your special teams, at least on paper, better. We don't really give a lot of credit to special teams, as I said. But that special teams, as you should know by now, can win you a football game. And the truth of the matter is, the Cowboys last year definitely had one of the better special team units in the game last year. Look at all the punts we blocked last year. That ain't happening God knows how long. They were excellent in coverage. We didn't really give up nothing crazy on punt returns from other teams. I mean, we were solid. We were solid last year on special teams. So if you just add something to it, which they did, to me, I think that makes us better. It makes us better. So let's kind of hold off, on the criticism, at least on this signing. I think that, to be honest with you, Joe, since you say what I think about him, I believe it was an excellent signing. I do. I believe it was an excellent signing. It's not sexy. You know what I'm saying? It's not sexy. It's not going to get ESPN high, ESPN front page news. And nobody you ain't going to see that on the ticker, on ESPN. But moves like that makes your team better. Excellent in kickoff coverage. He was excellent in punt coverage. I believe in Chicago, a lot of times he was a quarterback of the special teams, actually, where the guy's up and making the calls, making guys shift, on the down line, spreading guys, putting guys in the proper position in front of them. The guys is there. I believe he also from a punt, a kick formation, he also played the same position, and there were times where he could be a threat from a fake punt formation. He can run with the football. You know, pretty much just he's a good signing. Yeah, normal guy. I've already touched on Dwayne Haskins already. I don't want to drag the spirit back down like I did before. Coach Price. Coach says that there's still some vet linebackers out there in free agency. Can we get one, at least one, please? Coach, you know, once you look at the Cowboys, coach, the one thing I'm going to give, I don't like it now, but I'm going to give Stephen Jones credit in a backwards type way right here. At least he's consistent. Listen to what I'm saying. It's nothing. He sticks with his system that he got on the refrigerator, on the wall, or wherever he's doing. He sticks to it. Free agency comes, he's not getting anybody. He's consistent in that. He waits till at least day 4 or day 5 of free agency and get some guys that that you're not gonna be happy about. He's consistent in that. Once he does that, like this guy who they just signed the fullback, that happens. Again, that's the type of free agent that he'll go get. Okay, the kid that we just got from Chicago. You might get 1 or 2 of those, maybe, coach. Maybe. All right. And then there's this period where there's total silence because they're dedicated to the draft. They don't do nothing else. So actually, this signing with the kid from Chicago, guess what? That's actually goes against the system to me. But he's consistent. He's consistent. The free agents, he will sign some free agents, coach, but it's going to be after the draft because then see it's time to go ahead and get the account bodies and all those guys, like that. I believe that's when we'll go ahead and get some more free agents, but it won't be now. The vet linebackers that you and I, coach, are thinking about, and many others are thinking about, we're not gonna get those guys. Like you just said there, these guys here, Coach Price and those on Podbean, you can't see it, but Coach Price calls out the names Anthony Barr, Anthony Hitchens, and Hightower from the Patriots. Look, those guys won't be signed by us. At least not now. Now, if they're out there after the draft, which I think they will be, because the draft is going to kind of clear up a whole lot of stuff for a lot of teams, and then they'll come after them. I don't know about us. Because, see, coach, check it out. If they draft, and I got a feeling they're going to draft a linebacker this year, maybe 2. Maybe. I don't know what round, but I believe they're going to walk away just in the draft alone. Probably with 2 linebackers. If that's the case, you know how they are. They believe in draft and develop. You know that. So I can't even see, come on now. Unless the guys they drafted are horrible. Then you might need some of these names and some other names may come into play, but I just can't see it. Chad, what did you say? I'm sorry. I see you. Chad says, my Steelers. I look, first of all, let's clear this up. Chad, you are a Steeler fan, which means you despise the Cowboys just as much as the Cowboy fans despise the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I'm proud of you just hanging in here with me, because we don't get along. Steeler fans and Cowboy fans, it's just not, it's like oil and water. It just don't work. So I'm proud of you. But let me get to your comment. You said my Steelers should go after Baker Mayfield since the loss of Haskins, plus quarterback Jake Dobbins regrets after signing with the Browns after the Haskins move. I'm perfectly honest with you, Chad. I really could care less what y'all do. It does make sense though, however, what you said, but my mind is so focused on the loss and that his wife losing, a wife losing a husband. They just got married. A mother losing their son. That's all I'm thinking about when it comes to passes. I'm not thinking nothing about football or the results, or what the team should do after that. But I'm just worried about it, him and his family. That's all I'm concerned about when it comes to that. But after reading your comment, though, it does make sense. I'll give you that. Somebody gonna sign Baker Mayfield. Somebody is. It is. Okay. Coach. Let me check Podbean now first before I get the coach comment there, and I'll read that. Hey, D-Mac. I don't know if he's still here or not, but he came in and liked the show. Okay, appreciate everybody that's on there. All right, Coach says, big question. You think that if they sign any one of these guys, LV will want to play with, let me read that, dude. I think if they sign anyone, these guys, LVE, want to play would play Will Steven like that. Coach, I'm assuming you're asking would LV play the Will position? I think that's what you're asking. Type in yes for me if I'm right. Type in yes. Terry says we need everything all on the table. Every pick can help us. And Terry, you're absolutely right. That's why I say history shows that the Cowboys will draft best player available, especially where we are at 24. I mean, you really are in a position where you just got to let the draft come to you. And the Cowboys, they proved that with CD. We didn't need another receiver at the time when he was there, but he was the best player on the board. I believe that's the case. Coach Price said with Steven, like LVE being on the bench. I don't think he's going to be on the bench, Coach. I believe they're going to play him number one till you get hurt again. He's fragile. And if you have these neck issues, it don't look good. I believe they'll let him play. You got to throw in the fact, Coach, that we one of the sins of the Cowboys is that we're loyal. We're just too loyal. We'll have guys playing behind him that are better, and you won't play him because you're too loyal to Jason Witten. The last few years of Jason Witten, as I've always said, kind of proves that. They just believe in loyalty, and they're paying him. So let's go to the Tony Pollard, Ezekiel Elliott situation. Everybody knows Pollard last year was better because of Zeke's injury. But we all know how much he got the ball. He didn't get no ball. He was better. But they continue to plug Zeke in with the little bit that he had in the tank. So they're loyal. And you're paying them. So they're going to let LV play until he just can't play no more. That's me. That's the only way he going to the bench. Coach said, so to protect his playing time, don't sign a vet. He only getting $2 million. Coach, I ain't gonna even knock you for what you're saying, but you know how the Cowboys think. They think the total opposite of what makes sense. Well, what you're saying is what a lot of people say, but they actually believe that he gonna be all right. I mean, look how let's go to history, and I can't really, because my mind ain't thinking this way because you hitting me with this, but Sean Lee used to get hurt every year. They never drafted a guy, really behind Sean that could just take over. They They were loyal to Sean even though he wasn't on the field. You didn't really draft a guy. You know what I'm saying? That could really threaten the position. With Sean Lee getting hurt every year. I mean, we had a true backup, guy off the practice squad. We never went and got the help because even when he was hurt, they were loyal to Sean by saying, okay, we're going to wait on you to get right. As soon as you get ready, you can plug back in and get back on the field. In the meantime, you will be suffering because your linebacker core is not strength or your linebacker depth. It doesn't have a lot of strength. So that playbook is out. We ain't got to go too far back. Yeah, I know exactly what you're trying to say, Coach. But, they don't operate the way we think. They're not trying to. Coach, they have full belief that Cox, that is coming off ACL, which we really don't know really where he is as far as, is the knee ready or whatever. They're really banking on him to be the man this year. They really are. You sign Gifford back. That's special teams linebacker. I mean, you sign LVE, got Parsons there. I mean, you already put it out. Curse played safety and linebacker, so you might as well count Curse in the mix too. See what I'm saying? So they ain't really trying to really improve that. I really feel like that we're gonna walk away out of the draft with probably 2 linebackers, and that's gonna be it. I don't think they're gonna sign a bit, Coach. I really don't. They never do. Oh yeah. The time to get rid of and what Coach, this is really what Coach is trying to say. For those of you that are on Podbean, you can't say it. On Podbean, what Coach Price was saying was that they're trying to protect the good old boy. Now you got to read in between the lines on that if you understand. Good old Cowboy LVE, he says. So that's again, Coach. That's where the sin, one of the unknown sins of the Dallas Cowboys exists, and that is they're too loyal to either the player or they're too loyal to the position. An example of being loyal to the position would be the Connor Williams experiment for all these years. Look how long it took before they finally said enough is enough. You were loyal to the pick that you made with Connor Williams because he was drafted in the 2nd round. You were loyal to we're going to make $1 out of 15 cents on him. We don't care how sorry he is. We don't care if he's getting destroyed. He was drafted in the 2nd round. We're going to squeeze all this talent out to make sure that we get what we got. We get the most value from the pick that we gave. And in the meantime, you'll leave guys behind him who are better. You'll let him stay on the bench and put out a liability like Connor Williams out there. So you're loyal to the position. See what I'm saying? This is the worst, and it ain't just started. You are loyal to, loyalty. I've said this for years, Coach. I've said this for years when I first started all this stuff. I've said this back when I was doing the Cowboy report. You can go back to my page and just type in the year. You can type in 2016 when I was just doing the Cowboy report. And what I was saying, Coach, was that the Cowboys are too loyal. They're too loyal. They were too loyal to Jason Garrett. Should have been gone a long time ago. But you too loyal to him, so you let him coach all those years. And it didn't get you nowhere. It killed us. Oh, man. Coach Price, you're going to deep water now. So, Since you put it out there, I ain't scared. Coach Price says they're loyal to color. That's the real. That may be a point. that look, it may be a point. Look, that they were loyal to Jason Witten. It takes somebody like Bennett, Martellus Bennett, to tell you about that one. Witten was still Witten when Martellus Bennett was there, but let's not act like Martellus Bennett was not incredibly athletic and could do a lot of damage. But he was saying that type of stuff back then. So they were loyal to Randy Gregory. See what that got him. See what I'm saying? You could have had plenty of pass rushers, but you always held that spot for Randy Gregory just in case he comes off suspension or his suspension gets reduced. You want to make sure that you leave the roster spot for him, and this dude never could stay on the field. But you were loyal to him. See what I'm saying? Loyalty. It's Gary, my brother Gary Bryan just said Martellus Bennett was a better player than Witten. I don't know about that, Gary, but I know he was more of a threat. Let's just put it that way. Than Jason Witten. I'll give him that. Witten is who he is. He is a Hall of Fame tight end, no doubt about that. He is. Great blocker, but he wasn't the most athletic tight end. And that we had some guys in that position, and even the last couple of years where he was playing, Jarwin stayed hurt too, but Jarwin was a threat. Some would argue and say that Schultz was a threat, bigger threat than Jason Witten was. But, it just all depends on how you look at it. That's the way I feel about it. But the loyalty part, they're loyal to whoever their starting quarterback is, coach. How about this one? Check this one out. Was there really ever a threat for Tony Romo all the time he was there? Never. Let's fast forward. Is there really a threat for Dak Prescott? They ain't never gonna sign nobody that's going to really threaten. And I guess some, even some would say that Dalton was a threat. Dalton was not a threat to Dak Prescott. He was not. They never draft somebody there that can really threaten a quarterback when they start blowing it up. You know what I'm saying? Tony Romo never had a guy. Romo, a lot of people say Romo throwing all these interceptions. I mean, who you going to turn to? He ain't have no threat. Dak Prescott would never have a threat. As long as they're paying him that type of money, it'll never happen. Loyalty. And I'm not suggesting that Dak Prescott needs to sit down. And I wasn't really suggesting that Romo need to sit down too. I'm just saying they have a system from the starter to maybe the third string or on the third on the depth. They have this system. You can look at it. That they're not going to play. They're loyal. They're just loyal. Collins was not better than Terrence Steele last year. But because they paid Lyle Collins, you were even willing to put Steele on the bench. See what I'm saying? So, I believe in putting your best five out there. If Lyle Collins is not your best five, he need to be on the bench. No. That's me. The Cowboys think differently. And that's where, like I said before, Will does his job. McClay does his job excellent. He gets an A+ from me. Drafting, scouting department, Will McClay, A+. It's after that where the problem starts. That's why I say we can go and get excited by the draft because in Will McClay we trust. Well, at least I trust. Can't speak for you. We're gonna be all right there. When we come to these next couple of weeks, we're not gonna do no wrong. We gonna do well. It's after the draft where the Dallas Cowboy problems begin. As soon as the draft is over, as soon as they pick up the stage, the draft stage, and soon whoever the Mr. Irrelevant is, the last pick of the 7th round, right after that, when it's time to sign the rookies to the deals, it's right after that where the problems start. Because some of these guys are going to be on the practice squad. They won't dress for the whole year, and some of those guys need to be dressing. Look how long it took Brandon or not. Y'all remember him? Look how long it took him to finally dress. Reggie Robinson never saw it, and I wanted to keep Reggie Robinson myself. The cornerback. Never saw the field. Never. Brandon and I, first team All-American from Utah. I know he was small, but he caused havoc. A pure motor. Never got on the field. And you got pass rushers. You wanted pass rushers. And I understand. I'm not saying he's supposed to start it over D-Law, and I'm not saying he's supposed to start over Randy Gregory. But Brandon and I should have been on this team. Instead, he was on practice squad, not draft. I mean, somebody put something about Israel in here. Let me go back to that. Let me find that comment. I don't know who that was. Terry Turner, I see your comment. I'm going to address that. Somebody said something. I can't see it. If you're here, go ahead and put that there. There it is, Terry. It was you, Terry. Terry says he expects to see something from Israel, Malcolm Moore this year. Wait till after the draft, Terry, for that. Because, see, I'm expecting the Cowboys also to draft, of course, edge rushers. I mean, and if that is the case, then Israel better be ready this year because he's going to be in a battle probably for whoever that last, pass rusher they get to dress every game. I'm just saying, let's wait till after the draft. Let's see who they pick. And then we, let's revisit that one. Okay. Coach said, but they tagged Schultz and not Randy White because they don't think like we think, Coach. See, what's common sense to football, football Cowboy Nation, at least. Yeah, I know he's saying, I'm thinking about the guy that was on Hard Knocks. You talking about Israel. Oh, yeah, the big, tall safety. You're right. I'm thinking about the other kid. I forgot his name. They made the team. His mother is from Africa and all that kind of stuff. That's the guy who I was thinking about. Israel. Let me say this then. Let me go back to your statement, which is this. Thanks, Coach, for the correction there. Where you gonna play, Terry? Now that I know he's safe, let me put this out here. Is he gonna make the team? Because the starters are already there. Hooker, Hurst, plus the other guys that are already on the team. I mean, Donovan Wilson, that's your replacement for either position. So that's the battle really is going to be between Hooker and Donovan Wilson for the free safety position. And whoever comes out, whoever's the starter, the other one will be the third string. So, and if they draft the safety, you know what I'm saying? Let's not put that out. If they draft a safety, is Israel gonna even make the team? See what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know. Hey Gideon, I see you popped in on Podbean. I don't know. He said he should be in the rotation. Says they play 4. I mean, is he good enough to be the 4th safety though? Like I said, let's kind of hold off because who knows? They may draft a safety somewhere. They just might. And if they do, depending on the round, there's the battle right there for Israel. That's the battle. The 3 top safety spots are already set, if you ask me. The 3 are Hurst, Donovan Wilson, and Hooker. I agree. Hooker said, Terry Turner, I agree. Hooker says that Hooker has LVE health. Hooker stays hurt too. But he didn't get hurt last year. But he didn't play a whole gigantic, bunch of snaps. But he at least he didn't have a season-ending surgery this year. He walked away this year. He's good. So it just depends. Now, a lot of people saying, what about Honey Badger now? Y'all can kill that. Y'all know the Cowboys not signing Honey Badgers. Just stop it. That's not going to happen. They'll draft one before they do that. So, if they did something like that, then Israel will have a real hard time making this team. Then something like that happen. So I don't get it. I don't see it. But who knows? Maybe they won't draft a safety, and maybe they'll go into the season with Israel obviously being the 4th safety starting the year off on the depth chart because he's not higher than Donovan Wilson or Hooker, one of the 2, whichever one you want to go with. Those are your top 3. Just that simple. So that's what I got to say. Somebody said something earlier, and I'm gonna go back there after that. I'm gonna open the lines up and we'll let you guys talk instead of typing. Somebody said something about drafting a running back, and there's Terry again. He said, I'd like to draft love to get a 4th or 5th round running back. I think it's time that we go ahead and do it. Yeah, because Zeke is getting nicked up, easily these last couple of years. But yeah, we need that, but I'm sorry, y'all, and it may not have anything to do with that comment, but I'm just gonna go on and say it that if you got one, Kellen Moore don't know what to do with one. He don't know what to do with the running backs he got. Shit. So why you gonna kill a young kid's career like that? You barely get the ball to the running backs you got. Well, we gonna draft a 4th, 5th round running back for he ain't gonna get the ball. A 4th or 5th round running back is on the practice squad on this team. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, I'm just telling the truth. If all the running backs are healthy, guess what's gonna happen? Nothing. You're gonna have Kellen Moore give him the ball to Ezekiel Elliott 10 times. You're gonna have him give him the ball to Tony Pollard 3 times. And the 3rd running back may get 1. Maybe. I'm just saying. I agree with you, Terry. I'm not knocking what you're saying. I agree 100%. We probably do need to go ahead and start getting ready for another running back. Zeke's still getting banged up. He's whether it's because of injury or whether it's because he lost a step, whichever one it is, he's not the same guy. Not saying he's sorry. He's not sorry. He's just not the guy that he was coming out of Ohio State. That's what the NFL will do to a running back, though. And his style of running, the way that he gets hit, and the way he delivers hits, you're supposed to slow up a step. The way he plays, you're supposed to. And he has. And so it may be time for that. I wouldn't be surprised if we do that later on, Terry. You're right. You're right. All right. Coach said, wait a minute. People's injuries is not LVE problem. He just said he is just soft. I will push back slightly, Coach, on that because of his neck injury and the surgery that he had. See, I'm a believer that when you start talking about the surgery that he had, it's a slow downhill walk from there. And depending on, but because of that's depending on the position. In his position, you don't need no neck injuries. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, you're already going to have a rough time anyway. Neck injuries and NFL don't mix well together. But when you play a linebacker position and you got a history of neck problems, you're not going to play a long time. Which is why I was shocked that they went in and re-signed. You know, I still don't get that. I don't get it. I know he's experienced. I get that part. I get that, but I just don't know why we re-signed him. You know, he had that one good year, his rookie year, where he did make. He was an All-Pro. He was an All-Pro his rookie year. Y'all check that out. A lot of people don't forget that. LVE was an All-Pro, not Pro Bowler, All-Pro his rookie year. We ain't heard from him since. He done got hurt, so you know. And then he looked like sometime when he playing, he just out of position. I don't know what it is. Maybe still trying to figure the defensive system out. I don't know, but Coach said he's soft. I'll say this: he's not very impactful. Let's just say it. You know, Coach gonna call it like it is. He's soft. I'm just saying when he on the field, I don't hear his name too much. When the last time y'all heard him do this wolf call stuff? I don't see it. That he be out there on the field. We were begging for him last year to do something. He out there. Didn't do anything until them last couple of weeks. I think he started finding a little rhythm. And he started making a few plays. But he's not impactful at all. Not to me. All right. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm done talking. It's on you now. Phone line is open. Right there on your screen, the ticker. If you're on Podbean, just push in that call-in line. But if you're on Facebook everywhere else, go ahead and call in now. 901-654-6853. 901-654-6853. Call-in line is open. We talking anything Cowboy related. Anything Cowboy related. Here we go. Here we go.
Call from
Coach Marv.
Oh, yeah. My guy's in the building. My coach is in the building. Coach Marv. What is going on, Coach?
Big game?
Man, I'm in the house. I'm just trying to get people prepared for the draft.
I hear that, man. One little quick comment before I get on these Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron James is in LA for the fame, not the game, man.
I can't. I'm starting to feel that
he in there for the stars.
Mm-hmm.
And if they win, they win. They don't, they don't. He just trying to build his brand.
Newton Hyde, I see you, man, on Pop, and if you can hold on, I'll get with you. Come on, Coach.
Yeah. So listen, the little pushback with the LVE thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the neck injury is a bad thing, And yes, if the neck injury has made him play a little tentative,
he need to get out the field.
Make him soft.
He need to get out the field if he's tentative.
He's still soft. I mean, at this particular point in time, he might not was soft at the beginning of 2018, But now he's soft, and the whole league knows it because he had to take a $2 million contract from the Cowboys for 1 year.
Yeah.
Nobody else, if you couldn't get no more than $2 million from nobody else in the NFL as a starting linebacker, then that tells you your value with the other 31 teams.
Yeah.
It's not really, they see the same thing we see on film.
Exactly.
So,
I agree with it.
But I think that the draft is our thing. You're correct with the Will McClay. Will McClay, he's done a great job. I think where the scouting staff is more effective, and like you pointed out earlier, yes, you want to have your pick of guys in the rounds of picking. But when it gets to that free agent, pick up those guys that fall in the cracks that don't get drafted. That's where he does real well. I love Nick Ralston last year that they got off as a free agent pickup last year. He played fullback and tight end and was a great special team guy. Matter of fact, he played like the first couple of games of the season and had a lot of tackles on special teams. And he was a bulldozer where he could play H-back. You know, he was small for a tight end, but he was so strong and great at blocking. And they let him go because, you know, they had a lot of players that they were trying to shuffle, and they cut him. And I think another team picked him up. But I think we should give the kudos to Will McClay because he does a great job in what he does. But as I leave this big game, you can get all the best cuts of steak you want. Steak when you in a steak restaurant. You can get all the best cuts in the refrigerator. But once they get to the kitchen,
horrible.
A bad chef can mess up a great cut of meat.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, Coach. The draft, we do well, but for some reason, right after that, that's where the problem started. I didn't seen it too long.
So after the free agent, after we get after the draft, and after that day when we sign all our free agent guys and we know who we got coming into camp, I hope these guys can put these guys in, get the best out of the back end of the roster, because you really win Super Bowls because the back end of your roster performs at career levels, not Hall of Fame level, but better than what people projected and better than what they ever played in the season before. So you get career guys, career years out of most of your roster, you got a chance to be in the play for a Super Bowl.
I agree, Coach. I appreciate you, man. Stay
all
with
right,
me.
Man. Go ahead and take the other call, man.
All right. Thank you so much, Coach. All right. Bye-bye. Love Coach Price. Always come in with the knowledge. And this probably won't be the last you hear from him, because if I say something that he love, he going to call back in. Man. Ain't no doubt about that. I don't blame him. Let me let in Newton Hyde on Podbean. Let me see. Are you there? Newton, are you there? I may be wrong. He may have hung up on me. Okay. Newton, if you're still listening, go ahead and call back in, man. Go ahead and call back in. I got you. Pretty much on that. All right. I'm waiting on him. If not, if you're still there, Newton, if you want to contribute with the comment, you can call right back in. If not, the show is still going. The call-in line is clear. 901-654-6853. You want to make a comment in, you can go ahead and call in now. If not, I'll go ahead and keep talking. Coach brought out his last scenario is pretty much the problem with Cowboys, that you can bring in Pro Bowl players if you want. But if you don't have the right chef in the kitchen, you're gonna have some problems. And Kellen Moore is not a good chef. You know what I'm saying? Now, all you guys are here. You guys live in different parts of the country, so I don't know if we have the same restaurants. But everyone, I think, either has a what I just use what Coach said, whatever your best steakhouse in your city is. Okay, right there, you already know the name of it. There it is. Kellen Moore not in that kitchen. He's not. But see, every city has a McDonald's. Every city got a McDonald's now. So that's what Kellen Moore is. He's a French fry chicken nugget chef. See, I said McDonald's, everybody. That's where he belongs. He's a chef, but he's a McDonald's chef. You can't come into the real steakhouse because you're not there. You just don't know what to do. Kellen Moore it's like the more weapons he have, the worse he get. I'm serious. The more weapons that he has, the worse he gets. Can't get a ball to the guys. Don't know what to do with a true number one receiver in Amari Cooper. You don't know what to do. It's amazing. You don't really know what to do with an offensive line because your primary play calls are pass blocking, which means they got to back up. They're playing on their heels. Instead of letting them guys pulverize guys in front of them, in other words, cause a running play where they can go ahead and just lay on some guys. You know what I'm saying? Lay on them, hit them. Now you allowing them to hit them. So you just don't know what to do. You don't know what to do. Kellen Moore don't know what to do. When it's time to run, he passes. When it's time to pass, he runs. It's backward. Horrible chef. And this is our leader on offense. It's not Coach McCarthy. It's Kellen Moore. So I got a problem. But the problem is after the draft. Everybody's saying we need to go get that receiver from Ohio State, Chris Olave, or Olave, or whatever his name is. We need to go get it. What y'all want him for? What you want him for? You couldn't do nothing with Cooper. What you hype for? You ain't gonna know what to do with the Chris and Lamb and Gallup there. I mean, come on. I'm serious. You got to have the right cook. You got to have the right cook in the kitchen. Sean McVay got all those weapons in L.A. and he know what to do with them. That's why he got the trophy now. That's why he's a Super Bowl champion, because he knows what to do with the ingredients that he has. He knows what to do. Eric Bieniemy in Kansas City knows what to do with the ingredients that he has. Kelsey, at that time, Tyreek Hill, all the other guys that they had, the running backs that he had. He knows what to do. That's why they win a whole bunch of football games. That's why they have won a Super Bowl. That's why, because he knows what to do. He does. Can't even argue with it. And let me throw another name out. Watch this. Now, we haven't seen the success like we think we have, like we think we should, but he knows what to do. And they're not nearly as talented as the Cowboys roster or the Rams roster. And that's the coach out there in Cleveland. Look at the weapons that he's had. Chubb, Kareem Hunt, Jarvis Landry, Njoku at the tight end position. Now, Baker Mayfield may not be all that or whatever, but you can't blame it on the play caller. He knows the weak. He knows the strength of his team. He knows that he got two quality running backs, and he get the ball to him. See, they don't have the problem that we have. You look at Ezekiel Elliott carries, he'll get 12 carries. Tony Pollard may get 4 carries. You look at the Cleveland Browns, Chubb getting the ball 20 plus times. Kareem Hunt may get it right at 15, 16 times. They're averaging almost 40 yards, 40 carries a game. Give me a break. You gotta have the right chef in the kitchen. You do. You got to know your strength. Green Bay Packers, I want Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball dang near 40 times a game. He's my best player. I know what I'm gonna get from him. If he's throwing 40 times a game, I'm getting a 300-yard game. I'm getting at least minimum 3 touchdowns. Automatic. I want him throwing the ball. But then again, if you got somebody like Dak Prescott, you know that you don't need Dak throwing the ball 40 times a game. 35 to 40 times a game. You don't need that. That's not the game. That's not right. Not saying he can't do it. You just don't want that to happen. You know you need more of a balanced offense. Instead, Kellen Moore, 40 times Dak throwing, Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott combined, less than 20 carries a game between the both of them. That's not a good chef. Not a good chef. He's not. He's not.
+1 603 960 358.
All right, I got another. I believe this coach again. We make this the coach.
Call from
Coach Marv.
Yeah, we'll make this the Coach Marv and big time show up. With the big time coach show.
You're right. When I hear something you say, man, I want to piggyback.
Come on, coach. I ain't got no problem.
To really understand it, and just got some push without. You're right about Kellen Moore, but this has got some little push on McCarthy too, right?
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned a person that I wanted you to mention. You mentioned Aaron Rodgers,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
When McCarthy was at Green Bay, a lot of people said that he was pass happy. And yes, Aaron Rodgers was throwing the ball 40, 45 times. Getting out the pocket, scrambling around, making passes off one leg, only that he can do.
Mm-hmm.
But since they got the new coach to come in there, if you look at the passing attempts for Aaron Rodgers, they're nowhere close to being at the top of the league, but he is more efficient with the ones he throws because Green Bay, is committed to running the football.
Yes, sir. You got an Aaron Jones back there. Guess what? He's supposed to run the ball.
And they got the backup running back.
The big kid. What's his name?
Right.
The big dude.
If
yeah.
you look at Dylan, right?
Dylan.
If you look at Dylan, right? But if you look at the Green, this is not saying. If you look at the Green Bay last 2 years, they were, best record in the league.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing happened in both of the playoff games from the previous year against Tampa Bay, and then this game this past year, San Francisco. Mm-hmm. In the game in Tampa Bay, they lost Aaron Jones in the first half with an injury.
Mm-hmm.
In the game in San Francisco, they lost Dylan in the first half with a separated shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And then you put the emphasis for them to say, we don't have that two-headed running game. We can't control the football, and the offense kind of sputtered.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Again, if Kellen Moore wants Dak Prescott to be the MVP of this league, you have to be committed to running the football and putting him in favorable passing down, play action pass, and he will carve teams up. Mm-hmm. If we're committed to running the football all year long, you don't need as many receivers.
Exactly. But we're not.
I'm actually Big Show. Did anybody complain about Amari Cooper's touches and CeeDee Lamb touches when we went on that 6-game winning streak?
When we were 7-1, no, they were saying this. They were saying.
7-1. Did anybody complain about? No. Anybody complain about touches or how many passes? It was a couple of games that they had 2 or 3, 4 catches apiece.
That was it.
But the catches they did have
were impactful.
Productive, but impactful. I want receivers to catch impactful catches.
Yeah.
I don't want receivers to be out ball control. He can dunk for 5 yards, 2 yards, 3 yards, bubble screens, slants. throwing bubble screens to receivers that may get in the round.
Yeah.
All those are good for their place, but you control a game with the running game, and you score in the passing game. And then when I say that, people get that confused and they say, "Well, what you saying, Coach? You saying the passing is the thing?" No, you score with the passing game.
Yeah.
That means you don't control the ball with the passing game. When you strike with the passing game, it's like boxing. Body blows, and when you go for the headshots with the passing game, it's for knockouts.
Mm-hmm. No doubt about it.
Don't pity pat at the
head. Let's go somewhere else though, Coach. With that, what did Green Bay do? A lot of people were complaining about Aaron Rodgers not getting what he wants as far as help as a receiver. They were complaining about that. And as a matter of fact, a lot of people, Aaron Rodgers saying, "Why you draft him?" But what Green Bay also did, they invested into their offensive line because they knew they were going to be running that ball too. As a matter of fact, they sent, I think, 2 guys to the Pro Bowl this year off that offensive line. So once again, it goes back to the front office part of if you're committing, as you say, to running the ball, you got to commit also and make sure that you have the proper offensive line that is going to be able to execute a commitment of running like that. And they've done
and that's what they did.
They did that.
But, one thing about offensive line play, you make it very, very tough on an offensive line when a defensive coordinator can almost know what you're gonna do, either pass or run. And when offensive linemen get into a game and you make them finesse guys, they get attacked. You have to still give them a level of physicality to show their dominance on the line of scrimmage. And once they lose their dominance on the line of scrimmage, every pass rusher has the advantage because he's the dominant guy now. And that way, you're starting to take the strength or some of the weaknesses of your offensive line, you're exposing that, and you're taking the strength of your offensive line and you're lessening that. That's why commitment to the run game is very important. The Rams last year in the Super Bowl, they ran the ball 30 sometimes for like 25, 30, 35 yards, right?
Yeah.
But people wonder why they kept running the ball and getting 1 yard, 2 yards. McVay knew that he had to get to a certain amount of carries in a close game to wear the defensive line down because he could not afford Matthew Stafford to get direct pressure because he knew he would turn the ball over.
Exactly.
So he used the physicality, even though they didn't make run plays. He kept his line physical enough to slow the pass rush down
and limit his dropbacks. That's the bottom line. You limited his dropbacks by running.
Got 40 passes.
You still got it in, and a lot of that came, Coach, on that last drive because they really had no choice but to pass because they were behind. Remember, so they go there.
The team was worn down. The defensive line was worn down because that physical play, even though they played strong against the run, sometimes you're not running into a brick wall when you get 1 or 2 yards. Setting something up, you're giving your players a chance to be physical and beat on some people to slow them down. You don't run away from the run. If I was a defensive coordinator against Cowboys, this is what I would say, big game. I'll tell you right quick. I would tell my defense, we're going to be strong on the run for the first quarter. I want to sell out for the run on the first quarter. I know I may not can stop their run game all game, but for the first quarter, I want to sell out on the run because they'll turn away from it because they ain't committed to it. Anything you're not committed to, you will fastly leave and go away from. Anything you committed to, you will always find a way for it to work. That's the story of life. Is what you committed to. Whatever you committed to, you will never leave it or never get too far away from it. if you're not committed, the first bump in the road, you'll find excuses to leave it alone.
I agree. And that describes perfectly the way that Kellen Moore does the offense. If they get stopped 2 plays in a row, he completely gives up on it, period. It's just that simple. Let me ask you this, Coach.
Yeah, but you know something?
Go ahead.
Lane Kiffin was the same way.
Yeah, until you got around Saban.
Until he got with Nick Saban.
Exactly. Until he got around Saban. That changed everything. Let me ask you this, Coach.
Saban was tough on him.
Oh, God. Well,
Saban was tough on him.
You didn't have no choice. He didn't have no choice. With the running backs that Alabama had, he had no choice but to run it. Saban made sure. And that's the same kind of thought, the process, at least that I had with us. But let me ask you this, Coach. I'm convinced that Kellen Moore can't turn over a new leaf. You think he can? Well, I just don't see it.
The only way he's going to turn over a new leaf is, and this is the problem, Cowboy fans. I hate to say this, and this is and I've been trying to get around this, but I know from the coaching aspect, to win a Super Bowl, you can't get around coaching. I don't care how many great players you got, you can't get around coaching. They still not going to pay up to their potential. He has to have a head coach that is not in that philosophy. And I just pointed out, that was Mike McCarthy's philosophy with Aaron Rodgers. So when people think that Mike McCarthy is just letting Kellen Moore do everything he wants and he don't have no control over him, I kind of push back a little bit because I remember what Mike McCarthy was.
Pass him.
Yeah, so if that's what's going on, Kellen Moore needs a guy that can rein him in and be that ultimate play caller that can control a football game. Getting back to what I was saying about quarterback. Drafted in the first round, right?
Send a voicemail.
I'm listening, Coach. Go ahead.
You about to have a quarterback drafted in the first round. But he almost led the SEC in rushing.
Exactly.
That says something about the growth of Lane Kiffin.
Yeah. Exactly. He turned it around.
In the University of Mississippi, he was a running team that dominated on the run, but he still got the play calling ability to get a quarterback drafted in the first round.
Exactly. Coach, I got somebody.
So that's what I want Kellen Moore to be.
Yeah. I got somebody that's on the line right now, Coach. I know you listen.
Let me call in again, man.
Man, you can call in a minute if you want to. But let me get this guy in. All right. Thank you, Coach.
All right, go ahead and get him in.
All right.
Talk to you later.
All right. I got somebody on the end from Savannah, Georgia. I don't know who you are, but welcome to the Big Time Show. Who am I talking to? Hello.
Terry Turner.
Who is it? Oh, this Terry. What's up, man?
Another beautiful day at the office.
Man, what
I
you
just
saying?
wanted to clarify with Israel Mufamu.
Yeah.
He played cornerback for 3 years. And what got him drafted was he went on ahead and was able to swap the safety when they realized that he was graduating and the other guy keep getting his name. He went to the Carolina Panthers. He was the second cornerback behind Patrick Surtain II.
Oh, Joe Horn. Horn. Not Horn. Horn.
JC Horn.
Yeah.
JC Horn.
Yeah, that's JC. That's the one we were.
When they figured out that they needed to start getting their people ready. They swapped him to safety. He was good at strong safety, and they had a senior over there got hurt at free safety. They moved him to free. So Will McClay saw this boy play well at all 4 positions against SEC talent. That's what got him drafted.
Is this kid, if I'm not mistaken, Terry, if I'm not mistaken, is this the kid that's 6'4", played cornerback? If I'm not, am I right about that? Is he 6'4"?
He a basketball player looking dude. Now tall, but he's skinny like.
Well,
but it shocks you because he's so physical.
I'm not gonna push back on what you're saying at all, but I'm gonna add just a little bit to it. We all know through the history of Dan Quinn that he likes tall cornerback. So I'm gonna put that in with that also. Go ahead.
That's why I say I expect to see something this year because Dan Quinn loves his wingspan.
Yeah.
Boy, got some long arms.
I'm sorry, man. I keep interrupting. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying I expect to see him. Everybody want to throw somebody else in the slot. I expect to see him in the slot because now they would have 4 safeties on the field. One who was the cornerback slash safety who could cover and come up and lay the wood to somebody.
Well, I hate to say this.
Donovan Wilson laid the wood, but Wilson ain't got the body for it.
Let me go ahead and bust your bubble though, Terry. He ain't gonna play the slot. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is because unless Anthony Brown gets traded, you gotta keep in mind we still have Jordan Lewis and Anthony Brown. Now, the projected starters next year, to be honest with you, a lot of people believe it's gonna be Dig and Boss Man Fat on the other corner, which will move Anthony Brown and Jordan Lewis will be battling for that third spot. And then even on them dime formations, your top four quarterbacks is going to be Boss Man Fat, Dig, Anthony Brown, and then Jordan Lewis. So from a cornerback position, it's going to be real hard for him. Just be honest with you, he already on 5th. He's already 5th. Right off the top. So I don't see him getting a lot of, unless injury happens, of course. If injuries happen, we're talking a whole different thing.
You think Dan Quinn
I think
Dan Quinn like Jordan Lewis?
Maybe not his height, but one thing about Jordan Lewis though, Jordan Lewis is a playmaker, and it's just kind of hard for him to not be in the mix at some point. Last year he was the third cornerback. Yeah, barring injury. Like who now?
I like J. Lou. I love J. Lou from Michigan.
Yeah.
But Dan Quinn is big on height, arm length, measurable.
Then the only thing that I'm going to say about that is, and you're absolutely 100% correct now, that is a Dan Quinn type cornerback. However, if he's going to be battling, at least in the cornerback position, he must have done something totally incredible to jump either J. Lou or Anthony Brown. Now, there's a lot of people that believe that, and I don't know if this is factual or not, a lot of people believe that we can afford to trade Anthony Brown, and that remains to be seen. And maybe that's the way that he can get in. But if they are keeping Anthony Brown and Jordan Lewis, it's going to be real hard for him to get in playing cornerback. Now, the free safety position or backup strong position, I believe he got a chance to get more playing time there than a cornerback. That's just me. But like I said before, the Cowboys, Anthony Brown is a starter, and I'm not sure if Anthony Brown is going to be too happy being at least the third cornerback minimum. I just don't. Anthony Brown deserves to start somewhere. He was solid last year. With the truth be told, I know everybody like to talk about certain games, and but overall, he had a solid season as a cornerback last year, and he played well, and he's a starter for a lot of teams. And I just got a feeling that I don't think him being, or the idea of him being traded, I don't think that's so far-fetched. I think that he can be, he may, I don't know. I don't know what they think. So we'll just have to see. But I really believe that Boston.
They want to get rid of, I don't want to cut you off, they want to get rid of Anthony Brown, put Boss Man out there, because when you play those super fast receivers, Boss Man can cover him too, because Boss Man fast.
Well,
he either has to play the second wide receiver.
Remember what I talked about earlier. Let's throw that in. You want to get, once again, you 100% correct. Let's also throw in the fact that loyalty thing that I was talking about earlier. You drafted him in the second round. You want to go ahead and start finding out what you got. So the only way you're gonna find out is let you go and put them out there. So I really believe that that's gonna be, the real thing. But Anthony Brown, let me say this: if it's a true fight, if it really is a true fight, Anthony Brown is gonna have something to say about this second cornerback spot. I don't think we could just put ink pen on Boss Man as a second cornerback yet. I think they want him there, but I don't know if you could just say that's just how it's gonna be. Anthony Brown gonna have something to say about that. Now that's me.
Well, my dad was a fight fan. He used to love them fights back in the 80s and 90s.
Yes, sir.
And one thing I can say that he taught me, look at that man's track record. He done been fighting Jordan Lewis off for the longest.
Coach.
So if he get put in something, I mean, he gonna throw them things till he can't raise his arms no more.
I like that. Coach Price just said the grass always tell the story. In other words, when they get to training camp, we gonna find out what we need to know. So that's gonna be interesting. Man, I appreciate you calling in, Terry. Don't let this be the last time, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you, man.
I'm going.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Hey, that was my guy Terry Taylor, supporter of the podcast. You too can become a supporter. You can see all this stuff that's going on. The ticket there. You want to become a supporter of that. If you want to donate to the podcast, it's not a requirement. But if you want to feel that way, if you want to bless the podcast, simple. There it is. $, the Big Time Show. There it is. Also, you'll see on the ticker way that you can subscribe to it, which is the Big Time Show 3.supercast.tech. The Big Time Show 3.supercast.tech. You just have to make a decision on how much you want to contribute monthly. Don't have to be a lot. It could be $1, $2, $5, $10, $20, whatever one you want. If you want to support the show that way, you can do that. There it is for you. Those are my handles. Twitter at Big Time Lou. Twitch Big Time _73. I'm live there as well now. If you want to search it out on YouTube, it's the Big Time Show channel, or just Big Time Show. Just type it in. You'll see my face there and all that kind of stuff, and all the previous shows. You can subscribe to it, turn on that bell where you know when I come on live. You can do that way. Simple. If you're looking for me, I want to hear my whole little catalog of shows going on 2 years now. It's simple. You can go to Spotify. You can go to Pandora. You can go to Google Podcasts. You can go to Tumblr. You can go to all these different places. And I'm forgetting a lot of them. iHeartRadio, I'm there as well. All you have to do is subscribe to whatever you like to listen to and search out the Big Time Show. And you can check me out there, especially for those that will be listening to the replay on this. Listen, Coach says something when Coach says if we can't get what we want in the draft from tight end, Anthony Brown might be that trade bait. I agree 100% with that. Brown, I believe, see, Brown is interesting because if you are committed to Boss Man Fat as your corner, you have a starter as your third or fourth cornerback. Now, the question really is, I just don't think Anthony Brown is going to be 100%. I mean, who would be happy being a third cornerback? I just don't see that. And let's be truthful. Anthony Brown can start for a lot of teams in this league as a number 2 cornerback. And so I think that's a lot of value right there. It is. He's a starter. And you can trade him and get something back. Another pick, maybe 2 picks, who knows? But you can get something for him because you can pencil him in in as a day one starter for your team. Now, he ain't a Pro Bowler, but he's solid. He had a very solid year last year. It's just that simple. If it weren't for all the picks that Diggs got, Pro Football Focus, I believe, had Brown, I think, graded, at least for majority of the season, higher than Diggs. Because of his play. So you really got to pay attention to that. Exactly. Coach says, or J. Lou could be trade big. It's either one. That's quality. Those are two quality cornerbacks. And I just can't see, especially one of them, if Boss Man Fat is our starter, one of those two guys, Anthony Brown or Jordan Lewis, one of them is going to be a fourth cornerback. And neither one of them don't believe that they're a fourth cornerback now. You ain't going to even hardly get on the field with that. And so that's why I'm saying one of them can be traded. One of them can't. I don't know which one, but they can be traded. And I think that's something that we may have to pay attention to as well. I do believe that somebody, I wouldn't be surprised if one of those two guys get traded. During the draft, before the draft, or yes, even after the draft. See, keep in mind, what if the best player available at 24 is one of those cornerbacks from Cincinnati or whatever? Or what if Stingley from LSU falls at 24? What if which I doubt, but what if he does? If he falls, come on now. Somebody got to go. I'm just saying. That's the truth. See, the draft itself is going to kind of dictate some of this stuff I'm talking about too. I really believe that. If we draft a cornerback within the first 4 rounds, maybe, it's going to get real interesting in Dallas, at least from the cornerback position. I believe that. I do. I believe that. So that's I appreciate you guys hanging with me, Coach Price. Thank you. Coach said that could be a great draft day trade to move up and get a player you want. I believe it, Coach, because not too many people talking about this. I may be the first one, but Anthony Brown, at least, we know for sure he's a starter. Let's just throw out a team, for instance. Let's say the Jets. He's starting with the Jets. Jaguars. He's gonna start with the Jaguars. You know what I'm saying? So, a day one starter, you can get something for him. 5th rounder, whatever, another 6th. I don't think you're gonna get too much higher than that. Maybe a 4th, maybe. But you can get everything else down. That's another pick. You can get somebody for Anthony Brown. But y'all done talked about him bad, but let's look. He has value. He does. J. Lou has value, but I don't think he has as much value as Anthony Brown may have. Anthony Brown can command a draft pick for you. You can trade. Matter of fact, you can package, as Coach just said. You can package, if you know you got somebody in mind, you can package that 24th pick and throw Anthony Brown in with that trade package. And I guarantee you're going to move up. I'm telling y'all. But Coach said package him up with a 5th and move back up to the 2nd. You can, yeah. Somebody will bite that immediately. You get a starting cornerback, veteran, knows the game, can make some plays for you. Yeah. I'm serious. I ain't too many people talking about that, but I'm putting that out there now. You're not gonna get that with J. Lou. You may get something, but it won't be as powerful like Anthony Brown. Anthony Brown is a starter in this league, no doubt about that. I guess on that note, I might have to pick that one back up, Coach. I don't know if you done heard about that one somewhere else. I don't think Boss done got a hold of that one yet. I don't think Boss done broke it down. But I believe that that's something that I wouldn't doubt that the thought process has started in Dallas about that, because there's just nowhere in the world one of these two guys, Jordan Lewis or Andy Brown, would be happy being the fourth cornerback. There's no way. No way. No way. No way. Especially if it's Anthony Brown. Andy Brown can't go from your number two cornerback to your fourth cornerback. It's just no way. You can't be happy with that. So I believe that that's another interesting thing. That's interesting. I believe we done hit on something there too. Matter of fact, now I believe that is a possibility for real. One of those two guys. I believe that. All right. I'm out of here, y'all. Thank y'all for hanging with me. Who know, Monday, I will be with you guys on Monday. We might pick back up with this little thought process. Yeah. Let's I think it would be, if you just really hung up on the draft, that will get you another pick. No doubt about that. I believe it. All right, we'll talk about this Monday and some more stuff, Cowboy related. And we'll talk about that. We're getting closer to the draft. You guys know how much we love the draft, or at least most Cowboy fans do. I ain't just too crazy about it, but I know it's very needed. And I know that we got a chance to retool and rebuild a little bit. And we have an excellent captain in Will McClay that can get the job done for us. All right. I'll see you guys Monday for the one and only. Appreciate you guys hanging with me. Appreciate you, Joe, from Italy, country of Italy. Thank you for popping in and always hanging with me, brother. Thank you so much. We'll see y'all next time, Monday. This is the Big Time Show.